everyone, it's Darby from rejoiceandcreate.com. Thanks for stopping by today. Well, I have a fun little box to show you today, and it's this one. It is 5 inches long, and it is 1.5 inch in square on the ends. And it was actually created to house a 3-pack of the Ferrero Rochers. Well, you can also put some individual ones in there, other candies as well, or even use it for something small like keychains or jewelry. And it has a fun closure. It closes with these two little, I guess, ears, I'm going to call them. And they tuck into these little slots that we're going to make, and it closes that way. Now, I created this one using the stamp set from Stampin' Up! Called Lily Pad Lake, and I really kind of like that one. I created another one using a patterned cardstock, and it's this one. It actually has a wonderful texture. It's like a canvas texture on it. And this is the Bird Builder Punch from Stampin' Up! Not sure if it's still available or not, but I just hand cut some feathers on this one, and again, it closes that same way. And I was inspired by a few things actually for this one. Of course, I always get the paper pumpkins by Stampin' Up! And they until now will be closing that way. They're changing their way it closes. But then I also received this little box in the mail, and I thought, you know what? That's kind of a fun closure. It reminds me of some of the pizza boxes they used to have. I know our pizza boxes are changing a little bit too, but I thought it would be a fun way to close a box. So let me put this aside and I can tell you what we need. Start with a piece of cardstock or a pattern cardstock. You really want something a little heavier for the box. That is 7.5 inches by 11 inches. And of course, if there's a directional pattern, you want that to be the 7.5 inch up and down. Then all you need is whatever you're going to decorate it with, your embellishments or your sentiments, whatever you want to decorate it for whatever occasion you have. All right, so let me go ahead and get my scoreboard out and we'll go ahead and score this. All right, so with the 11 inch side up, you're going to score it at 1.5 inches, 3 inches, 8 inches, and 9.5. Turn it to the side, and you're going to score it every 1.5 inches. So 1.5, 3, 4.5, and 6. Okay, because this is dark and I know it might be difficult to see, I actually made a template for this. This is the every 1.5 inch score lines, and these are the two 1.5 inch ones on each side. So what we're going to do is we're going to take off some of these pieces, and we want to make sure it's symmetrical, that it mirrors on both sides. So the first thing we're going to do is actually cut in on each of these side scores up to the second score line. All right, so we went ahead and cut in on each one of these score lines, and now what we're going to do is we're going to take off some of these pieces. So on this first one, we're going to take off right inside that first score line. At the second one, we're actually going to take off all the way to that second score line. For the third one, we're going to take off right inside the score line. The fourth one, we're leaving them both there. And then the fifth one, we're going to also cut into right inside that score line. Okay, now do the exact same thing on the other side. Okay, so you see we're pretty much like the template. The only difference is we haven't rounded these corners yet, but we'll do that in just a minute. All right, so let's go ahead and form our box. Let's fold and burnish all of our score lines. Okay, so there we are. Let's go ahead and put our box together. So this part, these three sections are going to be the bottom of our box. So let's flip that over. And what we're going to do is we're going to pull these up like this. Let me fold that back for a minute. And you want these front flaps to go around the other flaps because that makes it neater in front, and when we put our side up to make that slot, we're not trying to compete against that flap from the back. All right, so let's put some glue, and I'm using some liquid glue, right on the inside of these front two flaps. All right, so we'll pull these up and we're going to match the score lines and the sides. And before it sets, let's go ahead and make sure that this side one will fit into it, because that's what we're going to make our slot with. Okay, so that fits. So let's go ahead and make sure these are adhered. All right, same with the other side. Put that back one up and put the front one around it. And then before that's adhered, let's make sure that this one will fit. And then we'll make sure those stick together. Okay, because we want these slots to be open, we're going to put glue just on the outside tabs there. So let's go ahead and put some glue on those last squares. And then we'll put that over the top and we'll tuck that right down. Now, because of the bulk, it may not be quite on your score line, but tuck it down the best you can. And then we'll go ahead and turn it over and just press it down with our bone folder or a finger. All right, same with the other side. We'll put that up and over and we'll just tuck it down as tight as we can. Okay, so there's the bottom of our box made. So what we're going to do with the top is just to go ahead and make our arch. Okay, so what we're doing is this is going to slide in the slot right here, but it won't go in quite yet, because what happens is this part interferes in the way. So we need to make an arch like this from that corner to that corner. So how I measured how far I need to cut my arch is I went ahead and closed that top right there at that score line. And then about halfway down, right to where this point was, I lined up that diagonal of that last square, just roughly there so I get an idea. And what I'm going to do is just make a dot with my pencil so I know where my arch has to be. Okay, oops, so right there. So my arch has to be right inside that in order for it to close. Same with the other side. So I put that diagonal right there against that front of the box, and then right inside that dot is where my arch has to be. Okay, now I'm just going to wing it. You can take a circle and go ahead and cut and sketch and cut with a circle, but I'm just going to go ahead and cut a little bit of an arch. At the same time, I'm just going to notch a very slight bit into this back part, and you can either round, or I'm just going to take a little notch there just to make it look a little bit rounded. Same with this side. Let me go ahead and just arch it right inside that mark from corner to corner. Very slightly take a little bit of a notch off there, and again, I'm just gonna, you can round that with a corner rounder too. Okay, let's go ahead and just test that to make sure our arch is enough to get that inside. Okay, so it fits. Our arch fits in there. All right, so let's go ahead and decorate our box. All right, to save some time, I went ahead and created my embellishment for the top. I created a banner with a piece of coordinating paper from the paper collection. And that is, if I haven't mentioned it before, Yuletide Blessings, which I got from Hobby Lobby with a coupon. I went ahead and stamped a sentiment from this stamp set called Christmas Blessings by Tailored Expressions. Today in the town of David, a Savior has been born to you. He is Christ the Lord. And I went ahead and bannered that one too, a little bit smaller than the original banner. And I went ahead and created a star out of gold foil paper using this die, which is called North Star, also from Tailored Expressions. And it has 3 different size stars that are perfect for your Christmas crafting. All right, so let me go ahead and put that one on the top. And let's go ahead and put our Ferrero Rocher in there. Or whatever else you'd like to put in there. And we'll close it up. If you want to punch a little finger notch in there, you can. I kind of liked it just the way it is. And there's our little box. All right, let me bring my other two back in. So I hope you like this little project and give it a try. It has a fun little closure to it and has a sweet little treat inside, or whatever else you want to put into it. And just for a sneak peek for next week, I'm doing the same box in a single. So if you liked the video, please subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to be notified of new videos as I upload them. For more information on this project and others, please visit rejoiceandcreate.com. And as always, until we meet again, I hope your days are blessed. Bye!